Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. Former Packers president Bob Harlan, the man widely credited with helping turn the Packers back into a championship franchise, has died. We begin tonight with team coverage. We have Drew Best live at Lambeau Field. But first, we go to sports director Dave Schrader. Dave?
Well, Chris, the Green Bay Packers are on solid footing to this day because of Bob Harlan, who has died at age 89, according to the team. Harlan's decision-making turning things around on the field and off. He hired 2 Super Bowl winning GMs and presided over the $295 million renovations to Lambeau Field in 2003 that helped financially. Harlan joined the franchise way back in 1971. He was elected president in 1989, serving in that role for decades until 2008. Harlan brought in Ron Wolf as general manager, and success followed. He hired Ted Thompson as well, who would bring home Titletown's most recent championship, building a champion for Super Bowl 45. Current team president Ed Policy saying in a statement, the Packers family was saddened to learn of the passing of Bob Harlan. Bob was a visionary leader whose impact on the franchise was transformational. From his inspired hiring of Ron Wolf to turn around the club's on-field fortunes to his tireless work ethic to redevelop Lambeau Field, Bob restored the Packers to competitive excellence during his tenure and helped ensure our unique and treasured flagship NFL franchise was on sound footing for sustained generational success. Ron Wolf himself saying, Bob gave me an opportunity and I am deeply indebted to him for that. His greatest trait, in my opinion, is that he was an honorable man, a man of his word, a man of character. He was an honor to know and a pleasure to work with. And legendary quarterback Brett Favre saying he was so supportive of me during the challenges I faced in my career, challenges my family faced too. He was always there offering his support. He was a great and kind man. I appreciated the way he represented the Packers and connected so well with Packers fans. Funeral arrangements are pending according to the Packers. We'll continue to bring you the latest on air and online. For more on that, Chris?